Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for a bit of a weird concoction because it's normally the Championship review show on a Monday. We normally do it at 1 p.m. actually, so I do apologise. We're in the evening tonight. And we're going to pad it out by talking about how the Championship teams did in the FA Cup as well. We're going to leave out the dearly departed teams because that would have taken us to about 15 games and we would have been here all day. But all in all, with the Championship teams, we have 10 games to talk about in League and Cup. So that is what we will do. We will, as ever, go down from the top of the table to the bottom. So we'll flip between FA Cup and Championship and kind of set it up where each team is after this weekend. We're improvising a little bit. Sue me, as David Brent would say. Let me know that you can see me and hear me loudly and clearly. Let me know that you're here in the stream. Give me a hello. Try and comment on each game as we go, and then we can do some questions at the end each time. Before we go any further, let's just say a big thank you to Russ, who sponsors our review show. Fan and our friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. You too can get involved in all of this nonsense over on Patreon. That is the best way to support the channel. I'm surviving here. When the world opens up, I can go and play some gigs again and make some money. But in the meantime, this is it. So all of you people who have supported on Patreon, I thank you kindly. www.patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. You can also support via Super Chat at any point in the broadcast. First Super Chat in each stream, excuse me, just eating my dinner, becomes King of the Bin and owns the fake news sin bin sponsorship for that show. Good, fun, juvenile humour there, which we all enjoy. And if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, it takes just a second to hit the like button, and that helps bring other people along to our streams. Right, let's get into it now. And there is the Championship table. So we've got 10 games, but our first one is in the FA Cup. We are talking about our league leaders, Norwich, who went out of the FA Cup. I'm sure they won't be particularly bothered being 7 points clear at the top of the table. I know it's a little bit depressing when we sort of look at it that way, that teams just want to kind of get knocked out in the most efficient way possible. And I'm sure all Norwich fans will be like, okay, fine. Concentrate on the league, and that's what they're going to be able to do. Quite a strong team, though. Krul, Aarons, Hanley, Gibson, Sorensen is first choice, basically, isn't it? Tetty and Rupp hasn't been recently, but shows the strength of Norwich's squad. Hernandez, Dal, Pichetta, Hugel, decent. Injury to Hugel, though, is worrying. Norwich fans will hope Teemu Pukki is back before the next game. For Barnsley, Collins over Walton, Sibic over Solbauer, Hellick, Anderson, Styles, Britton, Mowat, Palmer, Adebayo, Woodrow, and Fraser. So it's strong, other than one centre-back and the goalkeeper. Only one goal in it. What do they call him? The Berry Badgio. Is that right? This is Callum Styles. On the spin, the left wing-back with the right foot. He's going to hit that through the crowd. Too many legs and bodies in Tim Krul's way, and he's going to find the far corner for the only goal of the game. Let's have a look at the numbers. Look at that. 72% possession for Norwich and 2 big chances to 0. So a couple of really nice underlying numbers, other than 10 shots on target that Barnsley had. So Barnsley had a ton of shots and didn't create a big chance. Norwich didn't and did create a big chance. So it is what it is. And I'm sure Norwich won't be all that really bothered about it. If we look at the league table, which I can't do on that view, let's go over here and see if we can do it in here. There it is. If we look at the league table, Norwich now essentially out of the cups, 21 games to go, probably need about 32 to 37 points to guarantee promotion off 21 games. Should be fairly straightforward at about 1.66, 1.6 points per game. They'll be perfectly fine with that. For Barnsley, a little bit of a different story because they're a good side developing. I think a cup run might do them some good. You can see 3 straight defeats in the league, although I believe they are against Watford, Swansea and Norwich, those 3 defeats, the current top 3 in the division. We've got a super chat in there. Tyler, legendary, thank you. And I can drink to Tyler as well. We got some Malbec tonight. Thank you very much, Tyler, who becomes the king of the bin. Thank you very, very much, Tyler. Great follower of the channel. He is of the bin. Sorry, I'm a bit backed up with comments, so I will scroll down. Good choice. Lee likes his wine. Your wine, Lee, and his Yorkshire puddings. What else have we got? Tino. We were playing with a very rusty midfield, but the league is the target. Agreed on both counts. Yeah, Rupp hasn't played for ages. Norwich have had a lot of injuries, but they look lacking every time. Have you seen their points per game with Buendia and without Buendia? It's like 5 times the amount. Evening Boastman from Barnsley FC polls. Nice. Saw you on TV. You're bad as Agent Paul has been ill with COVID-19 and you want him sacked. Deary me. Can he go in the fake news sin bin? I never said I want anybody sacked. Into the fake news sin bin goes Stephen. We'll hear from him in 5 minutes. Thank you for Tyler, who is our sponsor of the fake news sin bin. Obviously, I was completely balanced and fair to Paul Lambert, and all my assertions were made on the basis of evidence on ITV today. But that's up on the channel if you want to check that out. Let's have a look here. Anne says Barnsley might focus on the cup a bit more than teams due to lack of expectation. Yeah, I agree with that. What else have we got here? James. We have recalled Soto from his loan, what I imagine is an attempt to get some more cover up front. Yeah, they need it at the moment, don't they? The Berry Baggio. Nice. Tyler, who is king of the bin, excuse me, outplayed Norwich. They had all the possession in the final third. Play it in between their keeper and the back line. There you go. James agrees. Barnsley outplayed us for about 75 minutes. Deserved the win. Fair play. Right. Let's move on. And who are we talking about next? Swansea 5, Nottingham Forest 1. What was I on about in the prediction show? I said, if I was Swansea, excuse me, my eyes streaming again. Weakened team, get knocked out, concentrate on the league. They've got Brentford and Norwich in the next 3 games, haven't they? So, no. 5-1 victory. Brilliant stuff from Swansea. Let's bring that one up. Get your thoughts in. Swansea 5, Norwich 1. A strong team from Swansea, other than... let me remove that comment. Sorry, James. Boom. Sorry, Annie. I literally used you to close the comments there. That was mean of me, wasn't it? Sorry, there's your team. So other than Mayhew and Lowe up front, and Lowe comes on for Routledge after 20 minutes, spoiler alert. It's a pretty strong team for Swansea. Woodman, Guay, Bennett, Latabodiere, Manning over Bidwell. Manning played well from what I heard, and great assist for one of the goals as well. Roberts the other side. Debut for Conor Hourihane. And if you're a championship connoisseur, Hourihane and Grimes as a central midfield pair. I like that. Very much. Very left-footed, though, isn't it? Dander off Cullen, who's back up, and he's going to score 2, and Routledge. For Forest, the bloated squad still, they put out a good team. Look, Smith in goal over Samba, Jenkinson over Christie, Figueiredo, Worrell, Bong over Ribeiro, Bachiru and Mbaye. That's an interesting one, him in midfield. We normally get sort of Yates and Sow or something in there. Knockout, Freeman, Lolly, Taylor. So still a lot of quality there for Forest, but by God, 5-1. Let's take a look at some of these stills for the goals. Cullen on the volley there. Lovely finish from Routledge's cross. You can see he's going to wrong foot. Smith put it back where it's coming from. Goal number 2. Great strike, but Lyle Taylor down injured in the goal net, incredibly. And Matt Grimes spanks that in. I wonder whether Smith was... Sorry, you don't want to look at my phone or not. Let's put that there. Whether Smith was put off by the player behind him. I wonder. Still, he's miles out there, Grimes, isn't he? Knockaert gets one back, finds the gap there after good work by Lolly, who frankly would have got a penalty if Knockaert hadn't have put it in. Speaking of penalties, well, this is where we are in 2021. Run into the box. I suppose he wafts the leg in and then does that. Maybe if you just do that, you don't concede the penalty. But yeah, it is Cullen, isn't it? Down he goes. And Grimes gets his second, keeper the wrong way into the corner. This is a great goal, actually. Play through the lines. That's Manning out there on the left. Low cross, swept home beautifully by Cullen, who's going to be full of confidence now after his 2 goals. And so is Oliver Cooper. No relation to Steve, don't worry. He's Kevin Cooper's son, who used to play for Stockport and Wolves, possibly. Am I right? Someone fact check me in the chat on that one. Oliver Cooper, his first goal there. 5-1. And it looks like one of those days where everything flies in, because only 2 big chances in the game and 5 goals for the Swans. But 9 shots on target to 2. A bit lower on the possession, I guess. As we always say, game state isn't often reflected, and you can get 2 up at half-time and just sit back and give the other team the ball in the other half, can't you? Forest actually had more big chances by the SofaScore metric than Swansea did. But hey, again, game state and finishing and excellent stuff from Swansea. And now we are into crunch time for the Swans. Let me just bring it up so you can see it. Next 3 fixtures for the Swans: Brentford, Rotherham, and then it's Norwich. So home games against Brentford and Norwich coming up. They're going to want 4 points from those 2 if this is a serious automatic challenge for Forest. They've been really tight under Krissy, and okay, they lost last weekend, didn't they? But 12 points in 6 before then. Very strange indeed. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Swansea didn't get out of second gear, won handsomely. Forest only had a 10-minute spell at the start of the second half, says Joe. Forest conceded the same amount of goals in 90 minutes. Who knew that Lewis was going to comment about Derby in the Forest game? As Derby in 12 under Rooney. Bit leaky at the back. There we go. I don't think half of them Forest players will play for Krissy. And yeah, I think they'll start phasing them out. Hurahan and Grimes. Yeah, it's only the balance. No right footer, but 2 very, very good players. Forest focus on the league. Absolutely. Swans more than 2. Hashtag unbelievable. We're full of confidence. Roll on Wednesday. Watch along. It's not on the TV, is it? Swansea Brentford. I couldn't find it on a terrestrial channel. I'm not sure if I can pay a tenner, although someone will super chat it, won't it? So there we go. Oh, sorry. Was it Manning, not Cullen? Excuse me. Soft one, either way, wasn't it? Swans Brentford. Going to be a great game, that one. Really, really looking forward to that one. Stephen, I don't think you're getting the tone of the chat here. We're trying to have balanced, sensible. We try and keep the football banter at the door. So maybe another channel, but feel free to join in sensibly if you particularly want to. With a bloated squad, it's hard to build a team spirit. Absolutely, because you're leaving out some highly paid players every single time. Not on TV. Is it on either Swans or Brentford? I'm not watching iFollow because it's just rubbish. Have Swansea got a TV channel? Let me know. I'm sure. I know. I watched that on the Leeds TV channel, Swansea Leeds, at the end of last season. Right. Moving on. And we did this as a watch along, and it was finally a league game. Get your thoughts in. Stoke 1, Watford 2. Thank you, everybody who joined me for this one. And some sense, perhaps a little bit, that Cisco is being propped up by good players rather than having necessarily developed a team as yet. And it was just a brilliant 10 minutes from Troy Deeney in this game that did for Stoke, wasn't it, in the second half? There are the teams. Stoke, Bursic, although Gunn back on the bench now, so I would suspect we'll see him in goal before long. Bursic's going to concede a penalty in this one as well. Norrington, Davis, Chester, Suter, Collins across the back. Klukas, Mikel and Allen. It's a decent central midfield, that you have to say. McLean, Powell, Clark. No real striker. Up the top there for Stoke. For Watford, Backman, Firmino, who I'm a fan of, Ekong, Sierralta and Messina across the back. Cleverly and Hughes kind of moved about and shared that position down the right. So still not quite certain whether Zinkernagel comes in and is going to claim one of those wide places tonight. Chalobah, the brilliant when he wants to be Sarr. Dini, who was brilliant in this game, and João Pedro. Here are the stills for the goals. And what you don't see in this first one, you can see Bursic just taking João Pedro down. Look at Troy Deeney on the edge, just inside the box there. He plays a beautiful floated ball over the top to break the line. Stoke have got plenty back, but just pings it over the top. And Sarr goes in first, and then João Pedro follows it up. And the takedown is from Bursic. And we all know what happens when Watford get a penalty. Not only do we know who's going to take it, but we also know where it's going as well. And goalkeepers ahoy, when Troy Deeney gets a penalty, who's the brave one that's just going to stand still and see if they can save it from a standing point? Because he always blasts it down the middle. And I have to say, he always scores. So Deeney with the opener from the penalty spot. I think Deeney is something like, someone fact check me again, something like 6 goals or 7 goals, and 6 of them are from the penalty spot. So he is most definitely doing the business from the spot. But my God, what a pass by Deeney through for Ismaila Sarr. First time breaking the lines, and look at that for a finish. Look, Bursic's in a good position there. Sarr on the run, pressure on the shooter. He is going to hammer that into the far corner. Superb goal that by Watford. And again, Deeney just in that 5 minutes coming short. 2 brilliant passes just to open the game up and get the 2 goals. Bang, bang. Another brilliant pass in this one that you won't see. Joanne clipping that one over the top. Fletcher in, gets it back to 2-1. But nothing doing for Stoke in the end. They're going to go under 2-1 in this game. And Watford do a number on them. Look. 42% possession, 14 shots to Stoke, but 4-3 in Watford's favour on target. 8 corners to 4. 2 big chances to 1, though. And I'm sure Ismaila Sarr's wasn't one of the big chances all the way out wide there. Let's have a look at the table. And now you can see Watford moving alongside Swansea there on 46 points. And we could have a real situation going on in terms of a 3 or 4 team challenge for second there. If you're Norwich, that's exactly what you want. And you want them to all take points off each other. And away you go into the distance. So it's going to get interesting now. And let me reiterate, Swansea-Brentford midweek. And then 2 rounds time, Swansea-Norwich as well. Reading-Bournemouth as well very, very soon. We've got excuse me, some big clashes. Stoke falling off a cliff, aren't they? 5 points off the playoffs. They're only that distance because of Bournemouth's poor run at the moment. 8 games I've got up there. 1 win in 8. 4 points from the last 6 games. So over a 6-game sample size, Reading in relegation form. They really, really need Stephen Fletcher on the pitch. I know the Stoke fans don't like Sam Vokes. They need a striker on the pitch. They need to work in Clark and Matondo, Norrington Davis. Who's the fella from Charlton who's signed as well? They've had a busy window. These players need to make an impact. Let's have a look at your comments on this one. Chris has stolen my thunder there. Stoke, no plans to buy a forward, just keep signing a winger. Agreed. Lovely little dink round the corner. It was a great assist, wasn't it? Alex, Stoke need to balance attack and defence. Got the players to do both. Need to find the balance. Agreed. Watford building momentum now. Ominous for the other contenders. And the thing with Watford as well is, like, I look at Brentford and I think they're playing well. I look at Norwich, systems down, isn't it? You look at Swansea, the same. Reading, the same. Systems down. Bournemouth, less so. Look at Watford and you think, oh, there's still another couple of gears there. Brilliant finish. You can't argue with shots like that. No, it was a great finish by Sarr, wasn't it? Is Deeney played deeper to help Sarr? That would be a very sensible plan if he's that good on the ball and, you know, piercing through the defence. Strikers always used to do that. Before we coined the number 10 role. We did have people like Peter Beardsley and Paul Merson who would play up front and constantly take up positions like that. So Stoke in trouble, especially with pragmatic approach. League position justifies performance and results. Stoke were last season known for grinding wins and results. Yeah, were this season as well, Annie, but it's been a poor last month or so. Doughty, thank you. Why did I think Albie Morgan? Is he another Charlton player? Deary me. Reading Brentford soon as well. Brilliant. Love it. Watford played well. Hopefully we continue the win streak. End up as a dearly departed. Lovely stuff. But Chris says Watford were there for the taking in the first half. It was only that brilliant 10 minutes from Deeney, wasn't it, that put the game out of sight. Let's move on and talk about Brentford, who did not play in the league, but I'm sure a few of you would have watched. Was it on BT or was it on BBC? Brentford in the FA Cup. And they went down 3-1 at home to Brendan Rodgers, should I say, James Maddison's Leicester, who are flying high in the top. Where are Leicester in the Premier League? What, third or fourth or something of that nature? There is your Brentford team. So Daniels over Raya, Sloth over Dalsgaard, Pinnock, Sørensen. Remember, there's no Janssen, so that could be it. Stevens over Rico Henry, Zambarek in the central midfield with Janel and Godos. So it is very much lots of players rested. No Jensen, no Norgard in that central midfield. No Marcondes, no De Silva. Canos, Force, Henry. I think Tony was suspended. No Mbuemo. So look, it's a reserve team. It's a weaker team than they played in some of those League Cup games, wasn't it? For Leicester, well, they're in a position now where they've been good. Excuse me, hang on. They've been good long enough where they've got a squad full of good players now. So this is the type of reservish team they can put out. Ward, Pereira, Amati, Soyuncu, who I think has been out for a while, hasn't he? Thomas, Tielemans, Mendy, Under, Madison, Barnes, Perez. Boom, bang. But Brentford take the lead in this one. Who was it? Sørensen forces home from the corner, just stabs that one in. 1-1 here. Nice finish from Under. Madison plays him in. Tielemans from the spot. Look at that one. Right in the side netting. Sends Daniels the wrong way. And here is Madison. I guess, would that be Harvey Barnes? It is a bit blurry. You'd had the initial shot there and Madison puts the rebound in. As I say, given Brentford's reasonably weak team, they would have expected something like this. But look, 2 big chances. 4 for Leicester, though, is not sustainable. And I don't think Brentford will be bothered. We have said a few times, and let's do it from a Brentford perspective, and even more so for the Bees than for Swansea, who we mentioned. Brentford have got a couple more games to play, so they're out now. They're at the halfway point, but remember, we're late January coming up for now, so they've got to bang those 23 games out. They're in great form, but big, huge, massive, whopping, whatever you want to call it, game against Swansea in midweek. Because of the less games they've played, you would think if they can match 44 from the first 23 and finish on 88, they're going to be very close to second place. It might be a high tide season. I don't see 2 teams getting 90, surely. Norwich might get 90, but if Brentford can just replicate that and finish on 88, they would be very unlucky not to get up. Remember Sunderland 1998, they lost to Charlton in the playoffs. 89 and didn't get promoted. Or was it even 90? Someone fact check me on that. I think it was 89 and 90 for Charlton, or 88 and 89, something mental like that. And they didn't go up. So Brentford know what they need to do. Let's have a look at your comments. Gibbler thought we put up a good fight with the BT playing. VAR stops the dodgy penalty. Force has gone cold. Has he? I didn't watch the game, but he looked at it earlier in the season. Leicester had too much quality. Brentford's second team showed some fight and hunger. Good positive for Frank. Leicester are third. They may not end up there, but hey, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened involving Leicester. Brentford have so many Premier League matchup this season. This must be there. Yeah, I think it might be actually. Charlie, excellent. A really good experience for the Brentford players. Going to help development. Agreed. Mattheson is going to be the next Mr. Leicester. Yeah, but will one of the big boys put a whopping bid in for James Mattheson? Dervis Soglu has left Brentford. Yes. Transfer update video tomorrow morning, Chris. I know I've promised one forever, but there we go. Did Wrexham really get 97? That's ridiculous. Unbelievable. 90, was it? Wow. Leicester have had a lot of penalties. Yeah, they're penalty kings, aren't they, Leicester? Let's move on to another league game. And we did this one as a watch-along yesterday. Get your comments in. It was Preston 0, Reading 0. Two very solid teams and team shapes, not creating very many chances. But there is going to be one key chance that Reading fans are going to be very annoyed they didn't take in this one. There's your Preston team. Iverson, Brown, Huntington, Davis, Rafferty. Rafferty wasn't due to start that one. It was due to be Hughes, but something in the warm-up, I guess. Whiteman and Ledson, Potts, Malumbi, Sinclair, Reese. Up top. Big sense that Alex Neil is now moving away from Paul Gallagher, Ben Pearson, Dan Johnson. Some of them are going to leave, aren't they? And this maybe is what his new look team next season and the season after, if he's still there, is going to look like. Reading, standard Reading shape and personnel, really. Raphael, Holmes over Estevez at right back. Morrison, McIntyre, Richards, still waiting for Liam Moore to return. Rinomota, Laurent, who play every single minute for Reading and don't move from those two positions. Very solid double pivot. Aluko, Swift, Ijaria, so still no Maite. Lucas Zhao, the man up top, but he's going to miss a vital penalty. And far be it for me to do this, but I think it was referee Eltringham, wasn't it? We need to give him some credit here because I watched this 4 times, 4 different replays and couldn't judge whether it was a penalty. And then all of a sudden, Sky found a replay from behind the goal, the last one I saw. And who was it? It was Rafferty, wasn't it? Has his arm hidden around the back blind side of the ref, but not of the linesman, pulling on the shirt, pulling Zhao down. So it is a penalty, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I think it's a penalty or not because there is the ball flying past the post. Would you believe one of the 3 top scoring strikers in the division, Lucas Zhao, free shot from 12 yards, and he misses it. And that would have sent Reading all the way up. Let's have a look at the numbers. On to 46 points. We could have had 3 teams all on 46 points behind Norwich, which would have been a spectacular setup for the next couple of months. But Reading, big picture, they've still got to be happy. Surely, I know they'll feel they should have won that game because of the missed penalty. But the way they're performing is excellent. Do you know what? The biggest compliment I can pay Reading now is that I'm starting to say to myself, well, did they actually achieve underachieve last season? You know, because basically it's Josh Laurent's come in and pretty much the same load of players and just a completely different looking team. So either they underachieved or we need to give Veljko Paunovic a lot of credit for essentially within his first 25 games at the moment, as it stands, could change, transforming them from a sort of upper bottom half, 3rd quartile team to a playoff team. And, you know, you start to think of people say to me, oh, will Reading drop out? Well, who's going to finish above them? Who's going to be more consistent and solid like Reading are? You know, it's a difficult question to answer at the moment because they've done it now consistently over half a season. Preston, anything but consistent. I always get my Preston predictions wrong. That's nothing new. 11th place. So they're in the top half. They're moving forward. They just need to get this window closed. I think we're still going to get some outgoings. I think they've gone early, bringing in Mollenby and Whiteman and Evans and Iverson. I do think one of Pearson, or hopefully not Davies for Preston's sake, but one of Pearson and Johnson surely will go before the window. So bit transitional at Preston at the moment. As a Reading fan, I thought Preston were there for the taking, but Preston would probably miss would probably say the same about us. Pauno felt Zhao's sulky attitude. Oh, did he really contribute to the penalty miss? Not good. Not good. Obviously, free shot from 12 yards, as I said. Wednesday have a 20% sell-on clause, so keep scoring, Zhao. Absolutely. Golden opportunity spurned in an even game. Yeah, and in an even game, I always say, don't I? Moment of magic, bad refereeing decision, set play, own goal. They decide. It's the fine margins, isn't it? And over a season, you gotta take those chances, haven't you? Got to like what Alex Neil has done. Gone out and got one of the best midfielders in League One, a promising youngster with championship experience all under his belt. Talking about White Man and Malumbi Defo pen. It took me a while, Tyler, but I do agree with you. Yes, I needed the fifth replay, put it that way. If anyone deserved to win, in my opinion, it was Reading. Preston didn't really fret Raphael and Zhao also. Swans Brentford on Swans TV. Ah, okay. Well, let me know in the comments at the end of the stream, because what night is that, Jam? I think it's Wednesday, isn't it? I've got nothing planned in the watch along, and it would be an investment in the channel for me to do that game. So maybe we can do that. Can you get that down your TV, or does it have to be on the internet? Swans TV. Is it come up on one of the channels? Pearson linked with Bournemouth amongst many, but they're going to send Gosling out, so it all seems to be much of a muchness, doesn't it? But there we go. Speaking of Bournemouth, whoever said that, Mr. E, good transition, because Bournemouth we'll talk about briefly, because they're going to play. We'll just get a different league table up there without those teams highlighted. Bournemouth are going to play Crawley on Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't quite remember which, but they are sixth in the division. They will be playing at the weekend, but Bournemouth need a turnaround now, don't they? Of all of those teams at the top, look at all the green W's, the green circles with white W's in there at the top. Least of all in that Bournemouth column, as the top five have kind of stolen a march on Bournemouth in the most recent weeks. Let me just answer Charlie. I didn't see the game in hospital. I thought you were typically Reading, Charlie, under Paunovic. Solid, stable, not spectacular, but should have won with the penalty. Right. Let's move on then. That's Bournemouth covered. And here we go. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 1. Get your comments in on this one. I know we're all going to be commenting on one particular incident. Blackburn, 7 points in 3 games. Just when I thought, oh no, it's not going to happen for them this season. 7 points in 3. And quick glance at the table before we go any further. Up to 9th. Still a fair way off the playoffs. Early, some inconsistency in there. But we've said all along, in terms of attacking personnel, and I'll reel them off here: Elliott, Armstrong, Rothwell, Dack, Brereton, Gallagher, Dolan as well. If Blackburn can get that fire in, loads of good attackers in that squad for sure, and an experienced manager in Mowbray, who's been obviously promoted out this division many moons ago with West Brom. Here's your Borough team. Mowbray obviously couldn't get promoted out this division with Borough. Bettinelli, Spence, Fry, who's going to go off injured. I wonder what happened to him. McNair, Boller, Saville House and Morsey, Watmore, Assombalonga, Tavernier. And if you look on the bench, you will see Ashley Fletcher making his return. Warnock will love him. A striker who will very much thrive on direct football. Kaminsky in goal for Blackburn, Nyambi Lenihan, Braithwaite and Douglas, Travis Davenport, Johnson, who looks like he's got a knock there, Elliott, Armstrong, Rothwell now being used a bit further forward. We saw those magnificent dribbles from central midfield from Rothwell. However, he's been used up top now, trying to balance out maybe. But look at that ability, the pace of Armstrong, and then the dribbling ability of Rothwell, and then just the all-round brilliance of Elliott. It's great front three. Not much size and physicality, but hey, there's many ways to skin a cat. Ouch. Wow. I think we can all fairly safely agree on this one. That is Jared Braithwaite and Dale Fry. Dale Fry is okay. And yes, of course, Jared Braithwaite is endangering his opponent, and it probably is reckless. probably should have been a red card and a penalty. But I guess it happened too quick and they didn't see it. So the main thing is that Fry's okay. And I know Warnock, I wrote in my article today, you never know where the gamesmanship ends and the genuine concern begins. But he said very close to the eye socket there. So Blackburn got away with one, didn't they? Should have been a red card there. Didn't get given. And here is Joe Rothwell side footing that in. But yet again, Harvey Elliott, assist, Elliott, Armstrong, Elliott, across the box, Rothwell. And he's going to be an absolute star, Harvey Elliott. And the only disappointing thing is that he won't be loaned to the Championship next season because it's going to be higher things. It's going to be Tammy Abraham after Bristol City when he went to Swansea or something like that. But remember, a cliche, Elliott's only 17 as well. So he's just an absolute star in his age group for England representative teams. One of the best in the world, literally, Harvey Elliott. So let's all put our England fan hats on and keep our fingers crossed that he goes the way we think he's going to. And a difficult one for Borough to take and Warnock to take. 52 on the possession, 12 shots to 7, 3 shots on target to 2, 3 big chances to 2. And of course, Jared Braithwaite should have been sent off, really, shouldn't he? So Borough will be very disappointed. A couple of home defeats in a row, that imperious home record, although mitigating factors, the red card that they didn't get in this game and the COVID recovery against Birmingham. So the home record's gone. They have beaten Forest in between, though, haven't they? So still on the edges of the playoffs. But Borough, I hope for you Borough fans' sake that I'm wrong, just seem destined to get close and not quite get into the playoffs at the moment. Just a higher level of consistency above them. Blackburn, are they now reaching a higher level of consistency? Can we call 7 points in 3 the start? They need 6, 7, 8 games of whatever that is, 7 points in 3, 2.33 points per game, and they'll get in the top 6, but they need to string it out for a little while longer than that. Let's have a look at your comments. What are we saying? There we go. Warnock said Fry was a quarter of an inch from the studs going in his eyes. Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? Wasn't good at all. I know you shouldn't judge on how much blood the guy draws because the guy can draw blood and it not be a foul, honestly. But yeah, that wasn't a good one. Assault should have been a red. If Blackburn had a strong defence, they would be serious playoff contenders. Blackburn outsiders. Definite red card, and I feel sorry for Fry. On the Norwich striker situation, yeah, we've heard about Soto. Look forward to seeing him. I don't know what we're doing as watch-alongs this week, Bembo. We'll get back for that. Brentford, Braithwaite didn't mean it, so some of Warnock's comments were a reason why nobody likes him. That said, had the ref seen it, should have been a ref and a penalty. Yeah, indeed. Elliott, great loan. So what a player, hey? Enjoy him, Championship fans, while he's here. You got to bloody die for the 3 points. Should be VAR in the Championship. It's coming, Tyler. It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. Tuned into this game just as they show it in super slow motion, though. Deary me. It just looked, but 2 of Brentford's last 3 fixtures are Bournemouth and Watford. Oh, is that the end of the season? Okay. High foot in the box is, or at least was given as an indirect free kick. I think they would have gone serious foul play on this one, so it would have been a penalty. But yeah, if it's just a high foot, but no, if there's no card given, there won't be any retrospective action. I mean, look, we all feel a bit sorry for Braithwaite. It's just a dumbass thing to do, isn't it, in the penalty box? Obviously, he doesn't mean to try and take the guy's eye out, but the law is there to protect players' eyesight and limbs, isn't it? Endangering an opponent. So yeah, he's only a young kid. I feel badly for him, but he should have been sent off, shouldn't he? I think Rovers can push in the playoffs now, considering Dak is coming back. Smashing. Yeah, Dak came off the bench. Did you see the through ball he played as well? What a player. Smash and grab. Neither Howson nor Spence tracked the man for the goal. In addition, Tavernier suffered a nasty groin injury. Interesting. Elliott made his debut against us when he was 15. In my Oh, there's always one. Hey, TN. In my opinion, Harvey Elliott wasn't that good for that game. Went invisible for large periods of the game. And there you go. You've paid him the biggest compliment you possibly can, TN. Doesn't even have to play well, and he can just come up with a moment like that and just bring a goal. And I've watched Blackburn in the flesh. I was at the game against Stoke a few weeks ago, and the amount of play that they put through him already as a 17-year-old. I know it's a ridiculous comparison, but if you ever watched a team that Pirlo or Scholes or Keane or someone was, where they did the ball, every move goes through them. That's what Blackburn are trying to do with Elliott at the moment, trying to get him on the ball all the time. Let's move on. Millwall 0, Bristol City 3 in the FA Cup. Read into it what you will. If your glass is half full, you'll be a very happy Bristol City fan, and this is a very meaningful game, and it's going to bring on form going forward. Or if your glass is half empty, you'd rather Bristol City did this in the league. If your glass is half full, you say about Millwall, oh, who cares? It's the cup, we're out now. Or if your glass is half empty, it's another defeat for Gary Rowett, and a bit of a handsome one as well. There's your Millwall team fielding over Bialkowski. Romeo over McNamara now, who's got that position. Pierce, Cooper, Ferguson. No Malone there at left back. Bennett, Thompson, Leonard, Bradshaw, Parrott and Zahor up top. Another different thing we've seen Gary Rowett try this season. O'Leary over Bentley there for Bristol City in the goal. Mariappa, Callis, Moore over Mawson, Rowe, Semenyo, Viner, Backinson, Palmer. That's fairly first team. Jeju, Wells. That's arguably first team, although Chris Martin maybe would have the nod over Naki Wells over performances this season. Here are the goals. And it's a penalty here. Jeju just teasing Fielding in there and knocks it away from him. And it's taken down for the pen. Up steps Jeju himself. Look at that. Fielding goes the right way into the corner from Jeju. 1-0. This was a muggy one, wasn't it? Wells with the free kick. I don't know who that's going to hit. Maybe Shane Ferguson, 11, takes a whopper of a deflection. It's going to Fielding's right, ends up going in the other corner. Any of our Millwall friends, how many deflected goals have Millwall conceded this season? It's not always bad luck. It can be that you're too deep and you're set up too low in the block with deflected goals. So it's not always bad luck going against you, as we've discussed. When we're discussing Norwich always scoring deflected goals, it can be that they're doing something right to do it. Brilliant goal by Semenyo. Love it. Broke in between the two centre-halves. Flies through the pair of them on the left foot. Can he find the corner? Yes, he can. Not quite sure about Fielding's crouched starting position, if Semenyo puts any height on that. But 3-0. Boom. Big away win there in the Cup for Millwall and Bristol City. Let me know what actual impact this result will have on both. Millwall look quite good on the numbers there, other than 0 big chances created with the 8 shots on target. But 3-0 is 3-0 is 3-0, isn't it? It's no good. Let's have a look at your comments on this one. Semenyo was quality, to be fair. Yeah, I like him. I think he's got the biggest upside, him and Backinson, of Bristol City, hasn't he? I think it'd be great if we're seeing all Championship FA Cup final. We'll do a live event for that, believe me, if that happens. Although we'll get some tickets, can't we? Despite winning 3-0, I thought Millwall were the better team for the majority, says John. Unbelievable performance, but not in the league. So our youngsters were excellent. Thought Palmer back to his best. Down the left by the look of it. O'Leary, excellent. Semenyo, excellent. They all count. Love it. What else are we looking at here? VAR from Jez there. Not connected to the return of Sam Hutchinson. Again, transfer update tomorrow morning. Promise. Did Millwall overachieve last season or underachieving this season? It's not binary, Tyler. Definitely overachieved last season and underachieving this season for sure. Please don't talk about this bloody shambles, says Chris. Well, we got to do it, haven't we? We got to do it. We weren't great. It was never a 3-0 game. Started well, but usual story. Didn't take our chances. Hopefully we can take confidence from this and into the league tomorrow. Remember, we'll be here for the preview, I promise, as someone chased me up on Facebook today, at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I promise we will be here for the preview. Right. 3 to go. Chelsea 3, Luton won. And can we give credit for Luton finishing off Frank Lampard? I'm not sure we can, but poor old Frank lost his job today, which I do think is a shame, actually, because it was great when he was in the Championship to have such a big name here. I think he just got the Chelsea job a little bit too early, but he couldn't have turned it down, could he, for goodness sakes? And let's hope he comes back stronger, Mr. Lampard. Let me just change the ticker along the bottom there. There's a Patreon plug. Go ahead and get involved. Over there, here is, we'll do our Luton team first. Sluga in goal. Lockyer, Ray and Bradley at the back. Naismith starting there, recent signing from Wigan. Well, free agent previously at Wigan. Bree down the right. Tunnicliffe, Clark and Dewsbury Hall. Cornick and Panzu up front. Really? I don't believe it. Anyway, actually, let's look at his heat map. Let's see how close to the goal he got. Okay, maybe. Gravitated out to the left a bit by the look of it, but there you go. Look at that Chelsea team. You see Frank was trying to keep his job, bless him. I'll just call him Kepa. Palmieri, Zuma, Christensen, and James. So James against Naismith in the battle of the Wigan left-hand side there, or right-hand side, depending on which side you're looking at it. Gilmore and Mount, Pulisic, Werner, Ziyech, Abraham up the top, who's going to get a hat-trick. God bless him. A Championship legend, Tammy Abraham. We miss him dearly, but hey, he was a bit too good for our league, wasn't he? And here he is. Great angle drive here. I think Werner gets a bit lucky. I think he's trying to play it to whoever number 10 is at the back post, that Pulisic. And it deflects back to Abraham, who smacks that one into the far corner. Here is the second, a bit static at the back there. Luton, and Abraham glances it in. And, who scores for Luton? Is that Clark? Right through Kepa's hands there. Rubbish goalkeeping. That, brilliant from Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Abraham gets the hat-trick. For Luton, I guess it's nice experience to play there, but they've got bigger fish to fry in the Championship. It just would have been nice for them to play that game in front of a full ground, wouldn't it? Let's move on. QP. Oh, should we get to your comments? Sorry, let's go to your comments really, really quickly. Poor Frank. Poor Timo. Bad decision, in my opinion, for Frank to go. Chelsea, so soon in his career, should have started lower league to gain experience. It's just so hard to turn it down when you're the top scorer, But there you go. He seems like the sort of guy who'll come back stronger from it. So, such a shame about Lampard. Deserves to be given the remainder of the season. You see Frank going to manage abroad. That might be a bad idea, mightn't it? Just recycle and, hey, you could do what Brendan Rodgers did. Even go up to Scotland and go and dominate up there. It took Chelsea to score 2 before Luton started to play. Luton 5 at the back, condensed 2, and then 4 at the back start to play better. Okay. Sean says, worried after 2. Cornick, unlucky not to make it 2. Yes, I heard about big chance at 2-1. Great penalty save, Sluga on Werner. He just can't score, can he? Eugene, just spool back about 2 minutes and you'll know what I think about Mr. Lampard. Right, QPR 0, Derby 1. This is our last Championship game to look at. And the miserly defence of Derby under Wayne Rooney strikes again. Please have a look on my Twitter. I did a whole article for tribalfootball.com, or if you just go to tribalfootball.com and type in Wayne Rooney or type in Benjamin Bloom, and you'll find the article there. See what you think there. A few subscribers helped me with it, so they know who they are. Thank you to them. But yeah, really interested in Rooney's start here. And the big pattern is his teams know how to defend. It's 7 clean sheets in 10. And they haven't conceded more than 1 goal in any of the last 12 games. Only that first one at Borough where they were 3 down really quickly. The first game where McLaren actually returned to help out. But doing a fine job, particularly from a defensive point of view, Wayne Rooney. There is his defence. Roos, so Marshall's still not around. Evans, Wisdom, Clark, Burnham, Buchanan, the wing-backs, Bielik and Shinnie. Josviak, Kazim Richards, Jason Knight, who is having the breakout season, isn't he? What a great season he's having. Look, he's the captain. He's been moved front left as well. And it strikes me wherever you put him on the pitch now, he plays well. Excellent player, Jason Knight. We all thought Sibley was going to be the one, didn't we? And I even had Bird ahead of Knight, but no, Knight is the man there, those youngsters. For Rangers, Dieng, Dickie, Cameron, Barbet. So the three at the back we've seen Kane, Hammerlinen, Ball, Chair, Willock, Dykes and Austin up top for them. But it is Derby doing the business here, keeping it tight and creating that one big chance in the game. Yoshviak played in, tipped away by Seni Dieng, and Colin Kazim-Richards sticks it in the back of the net into the open goal. Easy does it. And little bit of, well, it's a tight game. Look at it. 56-44 on the possession, 12 shots to 6, 2 on target apiece, 8 corners to 6 in Rangers' favour. But that's what a good, strong defence has for you, and a bit of quality and dribbling ability and pace with Yoshviak on the break. And Derby get the win. And will the pattern continue under Rooney? Look, it's still not good at all for Derby in the big picture. Still don't score enough goals. But, hey, if you're not going to score goals, have a really good defence and maximise the ones you do, which they're doing. And just outside the bottom 3, however, that gap would now be worrying if you were one of those bottom 3. I know this game's in hand, but, you know, if you're a team at the bottom of the league, you don't score points in many games at all, let alone games in hand. So to assume that a team with less than a point per game is going to score 6 points in their 3 games in hand is unrealistic based on the evidence that we have across the season. But Derby, excellent job. Just those 2 weird defeats where they got loads of chances against Sheffield Wednesday and couldn't take them, and then losing at home to Rotherham when Rooney was announced. QPR disappointed for them because they've been 7 points in 3 since the return of Austin, but they come up against a stubborn Derby team who are just very hard to score against at the moment. Let's have a look at your comments. Where are the QPR? We normally have some QPR boys in here, Chris, don't we? Starting to fear Derby more than the likes of Watford and Bournemouth. What is a hard game? Yeah, right. I think a few teams will be. As a reward, Derby players have have they actually been paid now? That is actually good news. I know Chris is having a laugh and a joke about it, but a good save by Dieng from Yoshviak. But poor goalkeeper to push it straight into an on-rushing Kazim-Richards. Yeah, you got to either keep hold of it or soft hands around the post. Don't understand how QPR are struggling. They have a really good squad. Surely too big to be down. Well, we've heard that before, Charlie, about many a side down the bottom there. Right, finally, and you can go off. Actually, let me just put it on in the background. It's Wycombe and Spurs on right now. What channel is it on, guys? We'll pop that on as we watch because someone's telling me good save by Hart. So I think there is. I want to turn this into a. Oh dear! Turn the sound off, Ben. Dear oh me. Let's have this up in the background while we are doing this. There we go. BT Sport. Wycombe versus Tottenham. And they have played for 9 minutes. And it is 0-0. As Mick McCarthy would love you to say. Quickly, Everton 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0 in the FA Cup. Wednesday, a welcome distraction from the league. I'm not so sure. Let's have a look and see what type of team they played. Well, you can see straight away by the back 3 that, yes, some players rested at least from Wednesday's point of view. Wildsmith, I can't pronounce that name. Urbakide, Brennan, Berner, Harris, Galvin, Bannon, Pelopessi, Reach, Green. That must be a debut for him, and Patterson up top. Everton, Olsen, Coleman, Mina, Holgate, Godfrey, Gomez, Decore, Richarlison, Sigurdsson, Rodriguez, and Calvert-Lewin. There you go. So that'll do for you. And look, even if, before we look at the goals, look at the numbers. It's a little bit of a hammering, isn't it? Look, 4 big chances to 0, 21 shots, over 60% possession. But it was just crosses into the box, wasn't it? Nice one, I think, from Gomez. Calvert-Lewin pops in at the back post. And then Rodriguez with his quality from the corners. First one headed in by Richarlison. The next one headed in by Mina, I think. And 3-0. Nice and easy does it for Everton in that one, Sheffield Wednesday. Move on. Concentrate on the league. The only FA Cup game we haven't mentioned is 11 minutes in process on the screen there. Let's just see the approach that Gareth Ainsworth and Wycombe indeed are taking. How strong have they gone? Pretty strong, actually, from a Wycombe point of view. Looks like, so it's basically the first team, isn't it? Allsop, McCarthy, Grimmer, Knight, Jacobson, Bloomfield, Thompson, Onyedinma, Dimmer, Musquay. I think that might be a debut, and Wheeler with Ikpeazu up top. So it's a strong enough Wycombe team. Spurs, Hart, Tanganga, Sanchez, Alderweireld, Davis, Winks, Sissoko, Bale. Wow. Lamella, Mora, Vinicius, however the hell it is that you say that. Good luck to Wycombe, who have already conceded a big chance. We'll see how they go in that. Now, we've got a bit of a weird week. If I bring up the championship fixtures, there's a kind of half a game week for us to look at. So we've got Millwall and Watford and Bristol City and Huddersfield tomorrow. And Swansea, Brentford, that big one. Barnsley, Cardiff, Borough, Rotherham and Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday. So we will do what will likely be a shortened preview show tomorrow. Bale, just wide of the post from Gareth Bale there with the left foot. So we'll do a preview show tomorrow. I'm thinking that will be at 1 p.m. We'll also do a Dearly Departed Premier League preview show as well. Any questions? Let's have a look here. Thank you, Jez. Right, here we go. Euro G'day. You're not mugging me off there. Euro G'day. No, I think he's helping me there. I'm sure I blinked and Everton went from 1 to 3 up. Wednesday conceded 2 goals from corners. Not good. Not when James Rodriguez is taking them. Has the FA Cup lost its magic over the years or just this season? No, it's lost its magic, hasn't it? Bless it. But what are you going to do? Hey, Champions League. Look, we'll probably get to a point where it's not a thing anymore when we get to Premier League 2, Super Bowl type grand final, European playoff final or whatever we get as well. So it is what it is, hey. But let's enjoy the wonderful memories, especially those of us who grew up when the FA Cup was magical. What's the record for managers in a season? It's got to be Watford, isn't it? That season they went up. Anyone name all of them? Deary me. Get rid of Thompson and bring someone else in that before. Can we class Thompson as a full-time manager? Although he's had a few games now, hasn't he? Ainsworth looks to have aged a lot in the last few months. He's got locked down Barnett, hasn't he, Chris? What time is Reading versus Bournemouth watch along? That will be, Charlie. I haven't got it up on the whiteboard. I guess it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Always just 15 minutes before kickoff. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That was the Championship and FA Cup review. Bit of a weird one. Come join me at 1 p.m. Tomorrow. I'll get that advertised and the stream set up so you can set your reminder for that one. And we'll preview. It'll be a fairly short one because we'll have 6 games to preview rather than 12. But I'm sure I'll still bang on for about half an hour or something. We can do a bit of Q&A. As well as ever, we need to say thank you to Russ, who is our fan sponsor for all of our review shows. Very kind of him. And those plugs still stand down the bottom there. Patreon, get involved. Super chat. Thank you to Tyler, king of the bin today. We only had to use it once, didn't we? So I hope you feel you got your money's worth, Tyler. And on YouTube, if you're still here, please hit the like button and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. With all of that being said, it's a big thank you very, very much for watching. And I will see you tomorrow for the preview show. We'll try and get a transfer update early in the morning. I'll try and get my ass out of bed early. And with all of that being said, it's a big over and out. from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.